Good morning, Raptor freaks. Alex Yachts here, and it's Wednesday morning, a rainy Wednesday morning at 6 here in Toronto. At least it's not snowing, I guess. That's kind of nice. We're playing New Orleans tonight. Pelicans, first time for the year. And actually, you know what? This is some good luck that we're catching the Pelicans right now, this time of our year, because they are in a similar place to where we've been in the last month, missing their best player in their lineup. That's right. Brandon Ingram is hurt right now, and he is already ruled out for the game tonight. And this is a big deal, guys. Like, he really is. Like, there was this clip that came out this summer of Brandon Ingram and how much his moves mirror Kobe Bryant. It's insane and uncanny how much Brandon Ingram has really made his moves and the way he works on the court with his footwork look exactly like Kobe Bryant. This clip had them shown side by side, and he looked like a mirror image of Kobe. But Brandon Ingram is not going to be playing tonight, guys, which is pretty damn good. It's his toe. So we got that at least in our side. Now, CJ McCollum has been out recently for the Pelicans also. He has had COVID, and not non-COVID. He's actually had COVID, but he has cleared protocols and he is questionable for tonight. So there's a possibility that they could see CJ McCollum play, but this is what it is going to be is if he plays, he's probably not going to start. He probably won't play a lot of minutes because they've got conditioning issues with him since he's had COVID and him coming back. So he wouldn't figure in too mightily, I would think, considering that he's been having COVID and he hasn't had any games recently, and this would be his first game back. So that I don't know if he'll even play tonight, though. That's the thing. He may not play still. Now, the other injuries are Larry Nance is day to day. Larry Nance Jr., it's his shoulder, and Najee Marshall has had an illness recently also, and he is questionable for tonight. So there's three questionable guys, and then Brandon Ingram is just out. He's out, so we don't have to deal with him, and that is a big deal. You know, when if both McCollum and Ingram don't play for them tonight, that's their entire starting backcourt. You know, so that means what they've been doing is they've been starting Alvarado, the little feisty guard. That dude is annoying, man. And then Trey Murphy the third has been stepping into the lineup as a second-year player. He's been playing really well this year so far, Trey Murphy the third. But this is, like I said, this is kind of catching a break, you know, because this Pelicans team is a lot different since Zion's healthy. They're very, very much like star-packed with guys like McCollum, Ingram, Zion, Jonas Valanciunas. That's right. We get to see big old JV, the big science. We're gonna come visit him down in the Big Easy down there in New Orleans. And Delano posted a picture of being in New Orleans last night on his Instagram. Yeah, it's just cool that they're down there. And listen, our vibes are good. Let's look at the other side with the injuries. And the only two people that are not available are the ones we know: Precious and Otto Porter Jr. not available for tonight for the Raptors. We expected this. We know about their injuries. And then meanwhile, Josh Lewenberg on Twitter is reporting that Justin Champagnie and Ron Harper Jr. are actually with the 905. They did not go on the trip with them to New Orleans, but Jeff Doughton did. So Ron Harper Jr., Justin Champagnie still here in Toronto. Meanwhile, Jeff Doughton Jr. and the rest of them are all there, and they're all healthy. Nobody's listed other than Otto and Precious. So that means everybody's fine. Scottie, everybody. PASCAL, everybody. And this is what we love to see. Now, we could speculate about what our starting lineup's going to look like tonight, considering all the little bit of controversy we've had this week about the press conference with Scottie after the game on Monday, and then also just what Nick's doing with the starters. This is what I think is going to happen, y'all. And this has to do with what Pelicans have on their side and what we should be doing with our injuries and how people have come back. I think what's going to happen tonight is that it'll be Fred, OG, Pascal, obviously those three. I think Thad will still start. And then maybe they'll bring Scottie in as the fifth, and Gary will be coming off the bench tonight. That's my educated guess for the game tonight. In fact, if they do this, it'll cut out all this bullshit about Scottie and his starting role that has come up in the last couple days. In fact, they're talking about it on breakfast television this morning. about Scottie in the starting lineup. It's just become bigger than it needs to be. Because honestly, you know what I think it is? It's one game that Scottie's coming back from injury, just like in the playoffs, where he has to not start and he comes off the bench. That it very well could be that Monday was enough of a rhythm to get them back, and that he'll feel safe about starting Scottie tonight. And I really do think that's what will happen. Now, the thing about Gary versus Thad, as far as starting, that's the thing that could be where they want to figure it out, because Gary could really add a good scoring punch to our bench as far as getting us baskets quick. And Thaddeus is so stabilizing to our starting lineup when he's out there right at the start. So, but we'll have to see. It's up to Nick Nurse, and whatever he does, we agree with and we will trust in. And we'll have to see what happens. But that's kind of one of the fun things about right now is last year we didn't really speculate about who was going to start because it really was ensconced in stone who was our starters, and he really put them out if they were available. Well, right now there is a little bit of questions about the starting lineup, so we can actually project the starting lineup and guess it. So that's going to be my educated guess tonight. Scottie, Freddie, PASCAL, OG, and Thad is who I'm going to guess they play tonight. We'll see if I'm right. We'll see if I'm right, but that's who I think they'll play tonight. All right, let me check in with the comment section. There's your injury report just right off the bat. Monique is here. Good morning, everyone, and happy game day. Go Raptors. Not on here for too long. Got things to do, but we'll be listening. You go, Monique. Have a great morning. I hope everything's just nice, even though it's a rainy day here in the 6. We're going to have some sunshine later with the Raptors game against the Pelicans. When the vibes are strong and everybody's back and you see the enthusiasm of Pascal Siakam after the game and him talking about his God's plan and stuff, it makes you ready on game day to get up early, get to that spot early, and watch them play tonight. It's exciting because we know our guys are back. We're going to get a good game. We're going to get a good test against a good Western Conference team. The Pelicans have a better record than us, just slightly, but a very similar record. And this is a team that's been doing pretty good in the Western Conference, even though they've had some injuries. So we just want to see the test. We want to see those guys back out there. We want to see the love for basketball that our players have, like Pascal Siakam, and just be out there just thriving. And Pascal said, it's like he just does what he does now, and y'all should just get used to it. So you want to get used to seeing Pascal Siakam destroy defenses with amazing offensive moves. Well, watch at 8 o'clock tonight, the Raptors versus the New Orleans Pelicans. You're going to see more of it tonight. Yes, you will. I love it. All right, Mason Culligan's here also. Here early. Hey, Lex. Hey, Raptors Freak Nation. Tonight, it is like basketball gods knew. I wanted to watch the game instead of closing tonight at work. I only work till 9 tonight, which means I can watch it. This is Mason Culligan living like Pascal Siakam. He's like, look, he may have had his own plan. He may have wanted to work till closing to make that extra money tonight. And maybe he was disappointed when he saw the schedule initially. And it said, oh, you're not closing on Wednesday, Mason. Well, it was God's plan so that Mason could watch the New Orleans Pelicans game tonight, that he would not be closing tonight. So that's exactly what Pascal's saying, Mason. You're living a life like Siakam right now. Maybe you had intentions for something, but God worked it out a better way for you. And that's so you can watch the game tonight. You go, Raptor Freak Mason Culligan, watching the game tonight. You go, go, go. All right, let's see. Mike's here, Logical Raptors Fanatic. Check out his YouTube channel, y'all. I watched his latest thing last night. It's so factual and actual. Project Truth is in effect, y'all. And if you don't know about Project Truth, it's about telling the truth about the Raptors and the whole NBA megasphere. As far as NBA heads down in the States, don't tell the truth about the Raptors. The American media going to tell you the truth about the Raptors? No, they're not. They're not going to tell you nothing because they want to ignore us. So that's why Mike and I are a part of Project Truth, because we're going to bring the truth out there, and the Raptors will show up more and more on the court and reinforce our truth because we know what's going on here because we're paying attention. So good morning, Mike. Always good to see you in the chat with me. Tom Duke is here. Good stuff, Mason. Going to be a good game. Let's go get it. Go Raptors. Yes, West Coast Raptor Freak leader, Tom Duke, is in the house. I always love and respect Mr. Tom Duke being here with us. And thank you, Tom, for all that you do for this channel. Mason's also saying it's important tonight to play as tough as we can because the team we are facing is strong in the paint on both sides. I feel we can score good against them if we play good defense and get on a roll. Yeah, Zion Williamson is a player that we have not played against a lot in his career because he has been hurt. And it seemed like a lot of the times when we played New Orleans, he just wasn't available. I'm very, very interested in seeing Zion play against us tonight. And we know who's going to be on him. We know what's going to happen tonight. We have a plumber on duty, a guy who comes out there with a big wrench and tries to cut the water off on the best superstar on the other team. And that's OG Anunoby. I really want to see this matchup because the matchup of OG versus Luka is something, sure. In some ways, that's maybe the most difficult one for OG in the last week. But then the matchup for OG against Donovan Mitchell is a whole other different animal. It's a whole kind of different thing. But we saw how he handled that on Monday night. 8 points. The Cleveland fans were crying on their content on YouTube. They're like, Donovan Mitchell, 8 points. They could, oh my gosh. Well, I want to see this test. This is a stronger player. This is a player that has a unique talent that can get up with certain strength like Charles Barkley. And I want to see if OG can match this strength. In some ways, this is a very much a strength and power battle between OG Anunoby and Zion Williamson. And I really want to see OG take on the challenge and try and cut the water off like he has done so successfully in recent games against the superstar on the other side. Well, Zion's the target tonight. I don't see him doing this to Jonas. Are we worried about Jonas? I think we can get big guys around him that can stop him. But Zion's the one we need to worry about. Now, if Brandon Ingram was playing, I would say, oh, OG may need to focus on him. But he's not playing tonight. And I'm sure the guards and other people can kind of keep track of CJ McCollum if he is coming back from COVID tonight. So it'll be fun to see OG versus Zion tonight. And bam, bam, bam. And Mike's right. Mason's right. The New Orleans Pelicans are really much a paint team. They love to do stuff down low in the paint. They played the Thunder on Monday night, and they won a lot of categories. In fact, they won the points in the paint. They won the rebounds. But they have some Achilles heels, y'all, and in some ways that we may be able to exploit. One of the things that they do a lot, and this is something we can really come at them for, this is a key to the win, is let's cause turnovers. These guys don't handle the ball as cleanly as a team like Cleveland that we faced on Monday. Cleveland had only 10 turnovers against us on Monday. Well, this team, New Orleans, will turn the ball over. They had 22 turnovers in their game on Monday. So we can force some turnovers on the New Orleans Pelicans and get in transition and get some easy baskets. This could be a real key to the win. So we need Gary Trent Jr., Fred VanVleet, all those guys to get in the passing lanes and get those steals tonight. That could be really, really a helpful way for us to win. Now, if we can win the rebounding battle, the points in the paint, if we can take it to them in the places where they like to win, this is great too. Like, we want to dominate the paint. We want to dominate the offensive boards. We want to dominate the defensive boards for our side also. And then, we could have some good success. It really is a mix between rebounding and big stuff down low for the Pelicans and 3-point shooting. But if CJ McCollum's not playing, that is one of their best 3-point shooters that is just not available. So it's going to be an interesting game. New Orleans without Brandon Ingram is easier, obviously. But we still need to come in there and just win this game. This is the last game of November. We're sitting at 7-6 for the month. And I would like to finish it up 8-6 instead of 7-7. And that means winning this game tonight, getting that W no matter what. That's what this NBA schedule is all about. You take the beats at one at a time. You don't get ahead of yourself. We can't start thinking about Brooklyn again for Friday. We need to take care of New Orleans right now, down in their Big Easy, down on Bourbon Street. Hear that nice music and get down, y'all. And let's beat some New Orleans Pelicans. Yeah, that's what I'm all about. All right, let me see what else you guys are saying in the chat. Isaac Campbell is here. Good to see Isaac Campbell. Raptors freak streak is steady like Freddie and reported in the day-to-day impact of injuries. Yes, Isaac Campbell is a rhymester. I've been noticing, Isaac, that you have very much been cutting promos in here with some rhymes like a wrestler would. I love it. Raptors freak streak is steady like Freddie. Yeah, I ain't messing around with this. You will depend on me on 9:30 a.m. You will see me here every morning talking about Raptors. So if you have a daily Raptors need to express yourself about the team, you want to talk about anything Raptors, if you feel like you don't have enough good Raptors content in your life, well, you found the right YouTube channel. Please subscribe so you can join us every morning and put your comments in and join us and give us your opinions. This is what we're all about here at the Raptor Freak channel. Mike Sands, Sid is anti-Project Truth. Hard, not going to lie. Ooh, Sid 60. Yes, I gave up on him a long time ago, Mike. Yes, Tim and Sid pissed me off back in the day talking about the Raptors the way they did. And I said, these are not talking heads on the television that I respect or want to listen to talking about the Raptors. They may be good for other sports. They may be good all around for sports. But the way that they do not really deal with the Raptors in a way I like, then that just turns me off. You guys can be good for all sports, Leafs, Argos, Blue Jays, Raptors. That's fine. But I'm sorry, you're not enough Raptors concentrated or positive for me to follow you. And yeah, Sid 60, yeah, he is not Project Truth. Bishop's here, Morning Freaks. Good to see Bishop. Always good to see you. I was wondering, are you Andrew from last year and you just morphed your name? You were like Andrew, and then you're Andrew Bishop, and now you're just Bishop? Because last year the Andrew was here, and I would say, let's go, Andrew. And I'm wondering if you're the same Andrew, but I don't know if you are. I'm not sure. But Bishop, let's go. Let's get this win tonight. Big W's for tonight, hopefully, for Scotty Barnes and the team. Nameless is saying good morning, Tootie. Tootie? Good morning, Tootie. Everybody, that's what that means. And it's raining, and Nameless is giving my daily Italian lesson. I want to be more like Kobe. I want to have Mamba mentality. I need to learn Italian. Thank you, Nameless. Give me more so I can have that Mamba mentality about my channel. Ooh, tutti. Yes. Johnny Alvarez is here. Good morning, Raptors freaks. Let's go, Raptors. Going to be a great game. I really do believe this too, Mr. Alvarez, that it's going to be a fun matchup. Listen, it's not so fun going into games when you know Pascal Siakam's in street clothes. It's not so fun when you know you're undermanned and you're undergunned and it's going to be a fight and you may win, but it's so hard and it's kind of deflating because you know it's not exactly the team that you root for that we've had this last month. There's been half the team that is supposed to be. Well, now when that team is back, ooh, you get up real quick and jump out of bed with a spring in your step because you know the Raptors are back and you get to watch them play against the Pelicans tonight. So, yeah, everybody's going to be feeling a little bit more excited, anticipatory of the great game because the great Siakam is back. That's right. Mason Culligan is also saying, may I ask why fans are rude to our players sometimes? I feel when we sometimes lose people act salty about our players. I wouldn't want another Vince effect on our players, aka leaving Scotty, I worry about this too. But, Mason, we need to realize this. There's a couple things. All fan nations have this kind of phenomena. It's not just our fan nation. The Miami Heat fans do this to Kyle Lowry. The New York fans turn on the Knicks and the Nets left and right. The Boston fans are crazy. In fact, I went and looked at Cleveland spaces after we beat them on Monday night, and they're all calling for the head of JB Bickerstaff. They're calling for the head of the general manager, and they are a winning team, and they're actually doing really well. And there are overreacting people in every single fan base. So it's not like we have people that are going to drive people away necessarily because the players know that this is in every fan base. And in fact, in some ways, our fan base may be very nice compared to those other ones because we are Canadian. And there is more niceness in our fan base overall. There is some toxic trolls and there are mean people, as you put it. But it may be not in as high percentage as like maybe New York fans or, Philly fans. Like Philly really turns on the Sixers real quick. And that may be the difference. We can't worry about this. Sometimes I do worry time to time about what Scotty's path will be down the road, but we won't know that. And we won't, it's not up to us. Ultimately, it'll be up to Masai, Bobby, and Scotty. But listen, I listen, this is the way I look at it. There's no lose scenarios for us with Raptors. Because listen, we're fans of the team. We're not fans of any individual player by themselves. We're a fan of the whole entire team. That's the difference. Like, I love Freddie, I love Scottie, I love Pascal, but any one of them is not more than the team. And that any chances, like forks in the road or anything down the road when things happen, well, I stay with the team and I bid adieu, sadly, if it is true. But otherwise, you can't be that way. And this is the thing. We stack things to make it so that we don't lose no matter what. So say Scottie gets his first free agency period in years from now, and he does decide to leave the Raptors. Well, hopefully we still have Achua sitting next to him. And Achua could jump in into maybe a role that Scottie would have taken if he had stayed with us. I don't like talking about that scenario, but I've already fought a lot of this through, Mason. That if we do lose players over time, if they're not dedicated like Fred or Pascal, so be it. We'll be fine because we react and readjust and we will be fine. So I don't care if whatever Scottie chooses to do down the road. I really hope he makes the wise decision, the decision that Vince and Tracy wish they had made back in the day, and he makes a smart decision. But we can't control that. And whatever he decides to do, so be it. I hope he stays and he wins many championships with us. But this is the only way I can do this without losing sleep. Is like, well, we can't control this. Whatever's going to happen down the road is going to happen. We'll make the best of the situation no matter what, and remain Toronto Raptors fans because we're team fans and we're not necessarily player fans at that level totally. So there you go, Mason. That's the way I look at it. And any other Raptor freaks or Raptor fans that are worried about this is the way you should rationalize it. That we trust in Bobby and Masai to have every contingency plan available for whatever happens with our roster and different people and what they want to do. So there we go. Logical Raptors fanatic saying Cavs fan had the doubt of the trade hit a bit, and the mistake they made, in my opinion, not going to lie, those picks are going to be key that they gave for a player that can be shut down fairly easy and doesn't give much anywhere else other than that scoring. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Mike, I know you and I really enjoy when we make predictions and it seems like it's right. And when this Donovan Mitchell trade happened this summer, I said, this is a bad trade for Cleveland and they don't even know it. These fools. Yeah, okay, celebrate and act like you think you've already won a championship. You just fucked up. And I knew it at that time. You got two little baby guards in the backcourt now, and this is a defensive liability. You lost some key players that were actually really good for you. Markkanen is blossoming out there in Utah at this point. And boy, I bet Cleveland fans wish they still had Lauri Markkanen right now. Now, the other thing is, the picks. That is really a big price to pay also to have Donovan on your team. So I say you go ahead, Cleveland. Feel real good about getting Donovan Mitchell right now. But, the Raptor freak knew the truth. He could see right through it. And he knew that Donovan Mitchell just might be a great little feast for a Raptor team to beat y'all easily by cutting his water off with OG. So Mike, I love seeing this happening the way that I thought it would this summer, even though everybody else was saying, oh, this is a huge success. This is going to be great for them. Okay. Maybe with other teams in the league, it'll be a huge success but not against us. We will get right through that. And we will actually mess up Cleveland even worse this year than we did last year, because they beat us. I think they won the series last year, 3-1. Well, we're up 2-0 right now. So you tell me if Cleveland's better than last year with Donovan Mitchell on it. Yeah, that's what I got to say about it. G is here. Good to see original Raptor freak G. Mason, even when we win, I go under Fred's interviews, and there is a group whom will still trash talk him. This toxic part of our fans don't seem to understand this doesn't help anyone. Yeah, and honestly, G, once again, we speculate these may not even be our fans. These could be like, they have Russian bots that come out and they say everything under like Democratic presidential candidates posts and just come in and they're spamming. They're automated. They're from a computer. They're not a real person. There could be some people that hate the Raptors so much that have bot farms that go to all Raptor spaces and they just have bots that spout out bullshit on our pages. And some of them may be real fans and some of them may just be like that phenomenon. There may be a rich person out there that absolutely hates the Toronto Raptors and they are spending some money just to try and cause an information problem with this kind of stuff. Now, Fred doesn't take the bait. He doesn't read any of our bullshit anyway. So I'm not worried about Fred. And this is the thing that these guys all learn as vets, as they get more and more into the league. They got to realize how to take in fan voices, whether it's they limit who comments on their Instagram, whether it's they don't pay attention to people on Twitter, they block people, they mute them, whatever they do. There's all kinds of different ways. Now, Chris Boucher has been very open about reading our stuff, and he is reading everybody's stuff, and he knows what we're saying. In fact, he's been very open about it on Hustle Play, and he echoes things that people say all the time on the show. So we know that he is actually looking, and he has even admitted that players do look and see what we're saying. They may not say they do, but they do. And it is true. We could be a confidence builder, or we could tear their confidence down in some ways by how we say things. We can't control what other people are saying, and even bots, they're saying. And I know that. What do they expect them? Are they helping them? No, they're not. They're not constructively criticizing. They're not being anybody that's actually giving anything helpful. They're just people who like to complain that are miserable in their own lives. That's very much usually the case with these trolls that are in the comment section. So yeah, it is what it is. And that's why we're here to counterbalance them. Where you see a place where somebody's in the comments doing that, we can do the opposite. Come in there and build them up. Say the opposite of what they're saying, and say how much we appreciate Fred VanVleet, where people are dissing him and talking trash about him. That's all we got to do, is just be that counterbalance, and they'll see the real ones are out there still. And maybe the fake bots are still out there also, or the fake fans. They're actually fans of like the Celtics or the Cavs or the Sixers, because there is a lot of that also. All right, let's see. Forgetful's here. Good morning. Last third of Zach Lowe's show yesterday was all about the Raptors. Eric Kareen was his guest. Cool. Zach Lowe has been somebody on the other side of the border that has been fair to the Raptors at time to time and what he writes for, I think he's Sports Illustrated or ESPN. But yeah, I have respect for Zach Lowe. He's not somebody that I absolutely hate, and I think that he's been fair to our team in the past. I'll have to check that out, Forgetful. Thank you for the heads up, and I'll just have to see what they're saying now. I'll bet that they said a lot about them being healthy now, and look out. They're about to start running on a streak. And I hope that's what they were saying. Cool Cat is here. Good morning, Raptor Freak crew. Good morning to one of the best Raptor Freaks in the house always, Cool Cat. And I always love hearing your opinions on things, Cool Cat. Duke is saying, I don't think CJ is playing tonight, even though he's recovered from COVID. He still doesn't have his strength back. It's stated if he does play, he would be in limited minutes. Yeah, probably won't start. And yeah, he could only play maybe 20 to 30 minutes. If that, and maybe he's ineffective because he doesn't have his legs under him or his strength, as Duke's saying. Either way, I don't expect him to come out and be a huge weapon against us and hurt us just because he's cleared and he could play tonight. So I think we're in good shape. It really is. We're going to watch out for Zion, Jonas, keep him off the boards. Herb Jones. They've got different guys that are healthy and that are very dangerous. Let's look at the roster and who they've been playing lately. Herb Jones and Zion and Jonas, that's their front court. And Zion's really enjoying playing with Herbert Jones. He's really a defensive kind of forward in a lot of ways. He's a really good defensive forward. And it'd be interesting. We're going to see him probably guard Siakam to a degree. And we'll have to see if he has any success with him. And then, like I said, they're going to be having their backcourt is going to be their backup backcourt with Jose Alvarado and Trey Murphy III. And these guys are young guys. Jose Alvarado is a small player. And that is a really good matchup for Fred. I'm going to tell you right now, even though he's a quick little dude, this is the kind of thing that Fred loves. Fred loves playing against the other little guys, like Neto the other night. So playing against Alvarado will be very good for Fred VanVleet in particular. And then, they got Devontae Graham, who got the DUI this summer, but everything's cleared up with that. And then they got a rookie, Dyson Daniels, who's played well at times. Backup center, Jackson Hayes, who we've seen at times. He's done pretty well. And guess what, guys? Tonight we'll get to see the Hernangomez matchup. Willie versus Juancho, because Willie has been playing a lot for the Pelicans recently off the bench. So we'll get to see Willie versus Juancho, the Hernangomez brothers versus each other. That is a little fun little Easter egg about the game tonight, the Hernangomez matchup. And hopefully we'll see them guarding each other at some point. That'll be fun. Just like when they were little kids. Garrett Temple is also on their roster. He is somebody we should note because he has been annoying at times for the Raptors in games in the past. So there you go. Evelyn's here. Good to see Granny Evelyn. Good morning. I'm excited for the game tonight. Let's go Raptors. Yes, she's got the heart. Oh, yes. Granny Evelyn. She's got that looks like a piece of paper or an envelope. And then she's got the basketball and she's got the Raptor. I love it, Evelyn. You are speaking Tom Duke's language. Johnny is saying Zion and OG going to be the battle of the bulge. The battle of the bulge. That's right. Well, maybe the bulge is a little bit on Zion's side, just literally. But OG's a nice cut, thick, strong, muscular man. And I don't know if there's much bulge on him as far as paunch or anything. So we'll have to see. Yeah, this is gonna be fun. I really want to watch this. It's almost like a Saturday night fight, UFC, or like a boxing match. You like Zion versus OG. And you really can kind of like build this pregame for this. It's like, let's see this. Zion has been really killing it as far as like unstoppable and doing his incredible things with his talent. And I want to see OG against him. And if he can stymie and cut that water off, let's see some OG-itis applied to the knees of Zion Williamson. Let's see some OG-itis in his head, getting in his head and saying, oh my gosh, this guy's all over me. I can't do what I normally do. Let's see it tonight. OG, you cut that water off. You are the plumber of the year. Yes, we want to see this. And people are starting to notice you have a hit list right now. So get that defensive player of the year steam going and get the next name, Zion Williamson. He needs to be on your hit list. And then we can keep saying this all year long. Defensive player of the year, OG Anunoby. Defensive player of the year, OG Anunoby. That's right. Randolph Phillips is here. Always good to see Randolph Phillips' name in the morning chat. And then, especially on a great game day against the New Orleans Pelicans. Woo! So happy to see Randolph. Let's see. Good morning to our most beloved Raptor freaks and most informative gang. On this game day, I bring you blessings as we believe for another victory that would start the streak. Let's go, Raptors. Yes. Let's win tonight, baby. That'll be 3 in a row, against Dallas, Cleveland, New Orleans. These are playoff teams right now. These are teams that are winning. These are teams that are doing well, and we want to beat them. Every one of them that we beat now. We're coming to get you, Brooklyn, on Friday. But right now, we got to take care of New Orleans today. And thank you, Randolph Phillips, for your blessings. And we appreciate you, and I appreciate you being here every morning and joining us. Mason saying, gee, agree. This is, to me, the reason why players are leaving us throughout the year. That's why Kalo and Debo mattered to us. Fans, they stayed even when our fans and media at time dogged them, which upset me. Well, it's totally different now, Mason. You've got to understand there wasn't a whole lot holding these stars like Vince Carter and Chris Bosh here in the past because we didn't have such an attractive situation around our team. We really do now. Masai came and this has totally changed. You do not need to worry about this like you worried about before. That Masai Ujiri is basically like a guy who says, okay, well, Masai's here. That's a big reason to want to stay. Nick Nurse is here. That's a big reason to want to stay. The city is a big reason to want to stay. The teammates are a big reason to want to stay. The winning is a big reason to want to stay. And in these past situations with old Raptor superstars, not all those factors were there. Rob Babcock was not a reason to stay. No, he wasn't. Sam Mitchell was not a reason to stay. The teammates that they had back in the day were not reasons to stay. The city was a reason to stay. It always has been. But the winning was not always there for being a reason to stay. So I want to calm your fears about this particular subject, Mason, because this is something that I've dealt with for decades myself, since the mid 90s, as far as like good players leaving. And yes, but that is all over. The Masai Ujiri is here now, and it's totally different now. We're a magnet to keep people here and attract them here instead of them not wanting to be here. That it is very much worth it to play for the Raptors in all kinds of different ways. If you come here as a young player, you will get developed. And development means more money down the road because you will get better. And it is a proven track record here in Toronto that when a player comes here and they work with us, they get better all of a sudden and they end up earning more money. That in itself is very attractive to young players. So there you go. I want to assuage your fears about this issue and know that it is a different era, and it has been since Masai showed up. So there you go. All right, let's see. Bishop saying, yes, my friends and freaks, call me Bishop. Thanks for the shout out. Awesome. All right, you got it, Bishop. The Bishop takes the rook. That's what I'm going to say. All right, Mike's saying facts, but it's about the balance of fans and basketball IQ voices steering and teaching people real basketball takes. Yeah, some people are just miserable. They want an outlet. They may have nobody they can complain about in their real life because they're really on the bottom of the totem pole in their real life, and they just don't have anyone that they can talk shit about. So this is their outlet to talk shit about the team. It's sad and pathetic, but it is sometimes the case. So we need to realize that. And sometimes people are just hurting and they're just calling out for they need help because they're just miserable in their lives. So next time you see somebody sullying one of the Raptors, like, do you need somebody to talk to? Do you want a hug? Just write them that. Maybe you'll may actually have them break down and say, yes, oh my God, I can't believe my dog died. And then they just go off and they unload everything that's happened to them to make them such a miserable fuck. So, let's come at them with kindness. Maybe let's do that. Let's just say, are you okay? Did you have a bad day? Would you wake up on the wrong side of the bed? Just come at them with this and wonder why they're so negative and upset, especially with the way we are right now with our team. Oh, there's nobody that needs to be getting negative about things right now. You don't need to be Debbie Downer, Rachel Dratch on Saturday Night Live, just telling us, well, Scottie didn't start though. Debbie Downer, shut up. It's like that. All right, let's keep going. Duke saying Zion gets a soft whistle. Need to feel out the refs for this game. Might have to guard Zion by committee. Okay, Duke, you just gave me the cue card. It's time for the referee check. So let's see who the refs are tonight and what their track record is with our teams. And Zion is going to get a little bit of protection because he is a golden boy. He's a golden boy with unfulfilled promise. And the way they've invested in his image and wanting him to be such a big part of the league and him not being available, they really have it built up inside. We really got to take care of Zion because we want him to be a star of the future. And he is not. He's been a bust to a degree because of his injuries. So they really want him to succeed. So this is true. He does get favor from the refs because he's a designated NBA golden boy who they really want they earn money off. So if he's not playing well and he's hurt, they can't. So they need him to be playing well and look good. And one of the ways they will enhance him is by helping him. Now, the refs tonight, they're not bad, y'all. Our head ref is Ben Taylor. And what have I told you about guys that are named Taylor with their last name? We had Diedrich last game. Now we got Ben. If we get a Taylor, that's good for us because those Taylors are very nice to us. Ben Taylor is from Orlando, Florida. He likes the TV show The West Wing. His favorite movie is Field of Dreams. His favorite musician is Brian McKnight. He has a hidden talent of dancing. He's a good dancer, y'all. And his favorite meal is cheeseburgers with tater tots. That's right. He likes to go to Sonic, y'all. That's the guy we wanted to take to Sonic to the drive-thru. We had Ben Taylor a couple weeks ago already this season. So cheeseburger and tater tots for the head ref tonight. Now, his record with us is he's the best ref for us tonight. We win 2/3 of our games when he is playing. We win 66.7%. And meanwhile, the New Orleans Pelicans are 51.3%. So he definitely favors us historically, winning 2 out of 3 games when Ben Taylor is a ref for us. The second ref is Kevin Cutler. He is born in Los Angeles, California, and now lives in Arizona. His favorite musician is Luther Vandross. He likes the show Homicide: Life on the Street. His hidden talent is he plays the trumpet, and his favorite meal is chicken. Yeah, so let's get some chicken down there. We need some cheeseburgers and tater tots, and we can have them play. He'll play the trumpet, and meanwhile, Ben Taylor will do the dancing. So Kevin Cutler, his record for us, he has the worst record for us, and it's 54.8%, and that's 55% of the time we win when Kevin Cutler is around, and it's right down the middle. For the New Orleans Pelicans, they're 50-50. So a slight advantage for us win percentage-wise with Kevin Cutler, the second ref. The third ref tonight is Andy Nagy. He is from Ohio, and this is his 4th season as a ref. He's not been reffing for too long. He has really good taste. His favorite TV show is Curb Your Enthusiasm, and his favorite musician is ZZ Top. So every girl's crazy about a referee, man. His hidden talent is he's a barbecue expert, y'all. So apparently he could really cook up some good chicken for Kevin Cutler. And also his favorite meal is a filet mignon. So there you go. Those are refs. And Andy Nagy's record for us is 55.6%. We win. And meanwhile, New Orleans has done really bad under him. They win only 20% of the time when Andy Nagy's around. So the refs all favor us. All three of them have a better percentage for the Raptors than New Orleans. And let's hope that that stays true and we get another win tonight under all of them. So there's your refs: Ben Taylor, Kevin Cutler, and Andy Nagy. And I like this ref crew. Ben Taylor's a ref that I really am very warm to and like him. Let's watch, though, because sometimes there's a little bit of funny stuff with refs that we like Bill Kennedy. But I think that Ben Taylor's going to be very nice to us tonight. So there's your ref check. And yeah, we need some cheeseburger and tater tots. We need some chicken. And we need some filet mignon down to the Smoothie King Arena for our referees tonight. Yeah. All right. Forgetful saying this old farmer is not much of a typist. Meant to add that Lowe is very high on our team. Kareem has us losing to the Cavs in the playoffs should we meet them. Fuck Eric Kareem. See, that's what I'm saying, y'all. People like Eric Kareem, Doug Smith, and Mike Ganter, they're not fans of our team, and they will fucking sully us. This idiot, Eric Kareem, really thinks that if we played the Cavs in the playoffs that we'd lose to them. He's a fucking idiot. He is a fucking idiot. And I mean, I lose respect for media types that already call shit like that so early in the season. He doesn't even know where we're going to be at around April and where Cleveland will be around at that point. Eric Kareem, you do not believe in the Raptors? Well, fuck you, Eric Kareem. You don't think we can beat them? We're 2-0 against them this season already. Seems like you, I don't know. I worry about your credibility when you make stupid observations and judgments like that. This is way too early for you to say that. And I'm losing respect for him. But thank you for adding more to your comment as an old farmer. And we appreciate farmers like you out there getting us the food and stuff. Farming community and farmers are important to society. We don't have them. We don't have no food. So I put on blast farmers and the great things that they do for us all the time. Zach Lowe knows we're good, but Eric Kareem doesn't, apparently. Okay, well, you're an idiot, Eric Kareem. Just make sure you make your votes right at the end of the year when you vote for Pascal Siakam All-NBA team and for OG Anunoby Defensive Player of the Year. You better get that right at least, Eric Kareem. Oh, my gosh. All right, I'm going to have to listen to this, and I'm going to hate Eric Kareem even more after I hear it, I'm sure. All right, Lolita is here. Good to see Raptor Freak Lolita. Good morning, all Raptor Freaks. W for the Raptors tonight, and go Raptors. And, of course, Lolita has brought in our incantation, our morning prayer of the 2023 NBA Raptors, the NBA champions, Toronto Raptors. 2023 NBA champions, Toronto Raptors. Earl Watson said, believe it to achieve it, put it out into the ether and manifest destiny. Toronto Raptors, NBA champions 2023. We are going on our way. We got a championship field. We got a championship roster. We got championship role players. We got championship coach. We got a championship franchise, and that is where we're going. We're going for another Larry O'Brien. G saying OG is getting a ton of praise. Also, he posted for the first time in years, and it became a Raptor reunion in his comment section. People need to see the hilarious comments on OG's IG. All right. You know what? I might go over there and do this right now since I can do this live, and this seems like something fun for me to react to. So let's see. That's not his real page. There's his real page with the blue check. All right, OG has posted a picture of himself, and he's dribbling, and then he's got him shooting a shot over Evan Mobley, and then he's got about to high five Scottie, and Scottie's so happy. Look at how happy Scottie's, and Scottie's got a comment here. He says, "You're elite." He's calling OG "You're elite." That's beautiful. Okay, and then Demar's here, and he said, "Wow, you posted something." DeMar DeRozan comes in and says, wow, you posted something. And Norman says, I was thinking the same thing. Norman Powell's here. This is good. This is great. Precious says, no way. And he's got crying, laughing faces with the skull at the end, death. OG must be feeling good. And he posted, Slim Duck says, well, damn. Chris says, well, damn it, he's got the little ninja. Dubber Don's here. Okay, Lilano's checking in. Top boy. Top boy. Yes. Oh my gosh, so good. Dewan Hernandez, draft pick of ours a couple years ago. First post in 2 years. Oh my gosh, gee, I love this reaction. DeLon's here. DeLon Wright, no way you posted. This is so good. And it's like, I love how many of the former guys are on here. This is so good. Matt Thomas jumped in. He says, nice socks. Nice socks. Yes, Matt Thomas. You are a sharpshooter. Okay, and then this looks like Ish Wainwright is mailman 24. Yeah, that's Ish Wainwright. I remember that's who he is with his name. And what does Ish Wainwright say? He says he posted, laughing. Sam Decker's here. Oh my God, a post. Malcolm Miller, champion, Toronto Raptor champions here. His head is exploded. Blake Murphy's chiming in. First post in years. The campaigning for defensive player of year is out of control. Hilarious. That's awesome. I love that, G. I'm glad you brought it up, and I got to go do a live reaction to it on the stream tonight. So much love and respect from former Raptors checking in and stuff. Hilarious. So good. Thank you, G. Mason saying, I agree, Lex. Sadly, I thought this was through to it. I just really like Scottie Barnes. He's a good fit. I just hope he knows that those bully fans and media is not the true fans of Raptors, the whole nation. Listen. Watching Scottie this summer, I will be realistic with y'all. He may not stay. He may very well go the route of like Vince Carter and Chris Bosh, because he is a number 4 pick. And I hate saying this, but I'm just being realistic. And I don't know what he's going to go on do in his head. I don't want to doubt him. And I just want to believe he's for real and he wants to be a Raptor. But I can't tell you that for sure. There are different things about what I saw this summer that makes me think that it will be a decision he's going to make at that time, and we may not like it. So I'm ready for anything with him. And like I said, I want a contingency plan just in case. There's no one single player that makes or breaks the Raptors, that we will be good no matter what. So people leave and people go. We can't control that all, definitely, for sure. So we'll make the best of whatever situation happens. And I just hope Scottie's smart enough to realize this is the right team to stay with. I think he is, but there's no guarantees. There could be other forces in his life that may drive him somewhere else. And I hate to think that, but that just may be the truth. This is like Uncle Dennis with Kawhi. You don't know how it's going to go. And even this is the thing, we can be afraid of this and fear it and not want to talk about it, but it's better to get it out there and be ready just in case it does happen. Now, I hope that I'm completely wrong, and I just hope that he stays. That's what I want. But we have to be ready just in case. And I do talk about this from time to time. This is way too early because he's on a rookie contract for another 2 years at least after this one. So it's not going to be something we're going to have to deal with for a couple of years still. But it is something that's good to think about, embrace for, and be ready just in case there is some letdown or a disappointment, just in case. But it's not up to us. It's up to Scottie and Masai and Bobby, and will throw the maximum to him, and he will get the most money here. It will really be that he wants to play in the States if he does leave, and I mean, what can we do? But and he's the most likely to do this out of all our guys. All the rest of them want to stay more than he will in some ways. It's just because of where he was drafted and just how much talent he has and how much people down south will be thirsting for him and wanting to try and entice him in different ways. You know, the Heat would love to have Scottie Barnes in years to come. And I hope that he doesn't just take that bait and go down there. I hope he does stay in Toronto. I don't want to talk about this too much more, Mason, though. So let's kill this topic, and hopefully maybe we don't talk about it too much for another 2 years until it's actually closer to when this matters. So let's see. Yeah, okay. Dwayne's saying, good morning, Raptor Freaks. Big things tonight. Let's go. All right. I just noise down the hallway right now. Troy Henry's here. Good to see Troy. How you been, Troy? Good to see you. This Raptors team are poison when they are healthy. I would be worried to play them now. Yeah, this is gonna be real fun to see all moving parts moving together and just how deadly we are. We're at full strength and stuff like that. Adriana's in the hallway making noise. Yeah. She's distracting me. All right, let's see. Mike saying players like fair and they know what's up. Like fair? What do you mean by that? Know what's up and they can tell what's fair. And toxic is unfair, realistic, uncaring, unlearning fans who talk more than listen and learn. Listen, one of the things I'm gonna say is let's not give them any more attention. Like I said, let's do what I said earlier, as far as like let's show them kindness, and maybe they'll break down and be like, "Yes, you're right. I'm so depressed. That's why I'm such a miserable fuck." In comment sections about the Raptors, But otherwise, let's not give them any more attention here. Let's just celebrate us, the real ones. The non-real ones, fuck them. We'll ignore them, just like the players do, and fight the good fight if you want to. But otherwise, I don't want to waste any more time talking about fake fans or shitty fans. When there's issues that are specific that are happening, we'll bring it up. But otherwise, just in general, we know where we stand on this, and we know what we're doing as far as in the percentage of fan base that we are and they're in. We'll fight the good fight. But otherwise, let's move on. Let's just move on from that subject. And the other one I was just talking about with Scottie. Cool Cat saying we will get a chance to see our defensive anchors of PASCAL, OG, Scottie in action with surrounding casts. Yes, we have the best possible offensive lineup and defensive lineup. We have the best possible chance to win. We have had a harder chance to win recently without Siakam. With Siakam on the court, our chances to win skyrocket. And he really is going to be like the best player on the court tonight. That's what we want to watch for. Is Siakam the dominant best player of both teams on the court? And if he is, then we have a good chance to win. Jimmy Pope's here. Good morning to Jimmy Pope and morning to the Raptor Freaks. Duke Rocks is saying last time we played the Pelicans, they moved the offense through JV in the paint. I expect the same tonight using JV and Zion to try and bully us in the paint. Defensively, the Pelicans suck. This is true. Yeah, they have a hard time holding teams down. And in some ways, it's like an offensive race. Who can score more points? And that's very much a West Coast kind of game with some of these teams out West. They don't play very good defense, and they just try and outscore you. Now, that may actually really play into our hands. If we can get a good defensive clamp on them, and they're not good at guarding us, well, we should beat the shit out of them by logic. So, they do try and use JV as kind of like to run the offense through, and Zion will be very important tonight. So I'm interested to see if they can bully us, because we are very big, and I don't think they'll have as much success against a team with our lineup as far as things. I mean, we put out Kent Birch, Thad Young, Koloko. There's a lot of big bodies we can throw out there that can do like good stuff to block them. In fact, I'd like to see Kent Birch play a good chunk tonight, just because of the big beefy guys like Zion and Jonas. That Kent Birch could be very helpful tonight, and maybe 4 minutes isn't enough tonight. That we need him to play more. Babe, can you close the door? All right, she's just being really loud right now. She's not respecting I'm doing the show. All right, let me see. All right, let's go. Nameless is saying impression, Nick Nurse pregame speech to the team. Oh my gosh. All right, let me try and do this. All right, guys, listen. I know we haven't had everybody recently, but now you guys are all back, and now we just need to win. I can't tell you how to do this exactly, but you just need to do it. That's all. It doesn't matter. You just need to get out there and do it. Just get it done and get the W's. All right, guys, Raps on 3. 1, 2, 3, Raps. Because basically what he says these days is like they just have to get it done. Get it done. They just got to do it, is what he said. Like the whole time when we were injured, he's saying, look, they don't have exactly who they want, but you just have to get it done. And that's really something he says to them all the time. He says, you just have to get it done, guys. I can tell you how to do it and give you the plan, but you are the guys on the court that have to execute it and get it done. So that's a big thing that he does as far as what he says. It's like his hands are tied to an extent. He can encourage, he can try and push them, but they have to do it. They have to do it on the court themselves. Let's see. Mason saying, I know it's not like before. I understand, Lex. Just my opinion is to cheer our players always, even though the bad time. The amazing part of being a Raptor fan, when you know you cheered through good and bad. Yeah. Well, the main important thing about happiness in your life is to understand what you can and can't control. We can't control other people, so we shouldn't let them upset our happiness. It is just what it is. I mean, we can only control what we do and say ourselves. So you got to let go of them doing the things that they're doing, because we can't control it. We can be a better example and counterbalance it, but otherwise, what can you do? I appreciate you being a good fan. I I really do. Tom's saying ref's going to get some quality favorite meals in the Big Easy. All right, Tom's got the plates out and the silverware, and it looks like Tom's ready to serve the referees the food they want. You got that DoorDash down in New Orleans? You get that sent to them, Tom Duke. I don't know what the cost would be. Oh my gosh, what would the delivery fee be down there? Oh man. Mike saying hugs are free. That's right. Just like come at them with kindness, Mike. Just be like, do you need like a tea or something? I don't know. I think my dad's making Scrabble moves or something. I don't know. Tom Duke's saying, Debbie Downer, wah. So funny. She would want to trade Fred VanVleet too. Yeah, I mean, seriously, they don't understand how good Fred is. They just see a short man and they're like, "Oh, we don't need this little short guy who can't make shots near the basket." And then that they base their whole opinion of him off of just that aspect of his game. It's crazy. Duke's saying Trey Murphy the third is a 3-point sniper as well for them and should be starting. But regardless, I don't think they can match the Raps' intensity and defensive schemes. We should win tonight. One of the things we've got better on them in some ways is we have more experience. They have a lot of young players right now with some of their players hurt, and we should be able to outvet them to a degree with guys like Trey Murphy and Alvarado being leaned on pretty heavy. Same with Zion and Herbert Jones. These guys are all players that have only been playing like less than 3 or 4 years. So, yeah, I think that we can outvet them to a degree because we have a little bit more experience on our team overall. So that'll be really good to look for. Tom Duke's got the cheeseburger and the taters. You got to tot them up, though, Tom. They can't just be full taters. You got to tot them up. Oh, there's the chicken. Okay, I see that. And then, okay, there's the filet mignon. Yes, good stuff, Tom. Looks very tasty. Mike's saying facts, Lex. No one knows how we develop through the year and look by playoffs and maybe the second round too. I know, Eric Kareem. Listen, you cover this team. You understand this? Don't you understand there's a curve? There's like a learning curve that goes on through the whole season and that we hit certain levels of like getting chemistry together and into new places of like winning at a high clip. So it's like, look, Cleveland may look good right now. Ooh, real shiny honeymoon. Well, the honeymoon may be over soon. And Donovan Mitchell reality may come around, Eric Kareem. And you're going to, we'll remember that you said this. And I'll be bringing it to you. I don't think we'll play Cleveland in the first round anyway, or anytime in the playoffs. I really don't think we'll play Cleveland in the playoffs. Just for some reason, I don't feel like it will match up that way somewhere deep inside of me. But if we play them in the playoffs and we kick their ass, we'll remember what you said, Eric Kareem. Oh, yeah. Tom Troy Henry saying, hello, Canada. The NBA title is yours. And Jack Armstrong's voice. Yes. Hello. Yes, Troy Henry. I love it. NBA champions 2023, Toronto Raptors. NBA champions 2023, Toronto Raptors. NBA Finals MVP, Pascal Siakam. NBA Finals MVP, Pascal Siakam, 2023. Mason saying, hit like on the stream, y'all. Guys, only one like. Pascal has proven year by year that he's our guy. I used to be hard on him at first, but Spicy P improves every year. This year, defense and passing got better. And just being the man and just being so dominant and taking over the game and just operating and doing whatever he wants on the court, that's where he's elevated to, is just being unstoppable. In certain ways in the last couple of years, he would be a little bit slowed down by contact, not getting fouls, being frustrated with the refs. Well, that's all gone at this point. It's like he can operate at a whole other level away from them where they can't even get to him and agitate him in those kind of ways anymore. He's just making it happen. And I love that. He has really continued. He's going to get better and better. He said it. He's not stopping. His philosophy is if I can continue to keep getting better by what I'm doing, I'm going to keep doing this. So who knows where he's going to be in the next couple of years? This man may be the best player in the league. In the next couple of years, people may be saying Pascal Siakam is the best player in the NBA. And why not? The sky's the limit, especially the way he conducts himself, the way he works, and the way he doesn't see any kind of ceiling for himself. Why not? When Pascal says he's top 5 this year, well, when is he going to start saying, well, I should be MVP? Yeah, it's going to be coming. Mike's saying we got 9 to 10 years to convince him this is the place he needs to be, the greatest player he can be. In my opinion, we're solid through the first 2 contracts with restricted free agency after the rookie one. See, Mike has a very knowledgeable opinion on Scottie's rookie contract and situations. And I think he's right. I think that he'd be smart to sign the max even after his rookie contract with us. And he probably will. And I think Mike's right. We got about 9 or 10 years of Scottie for sure. This would mirror kind of what's happened with Vince and Chris Bosh. that they stayed around like 9 years each. And that was good for them. But then at that point, they were ready to move on. So we'll have to see how it all pans out. It could very well that, I'm raising a false alarm about thinking about Scottie in this way. And I like what Mike's saying. I think he's very optimistic, and he's right that it wouldn't make sense for Scottie financially to not take our contracts when these contracts come up after his rookie year. And then he will stick around for that. Because this is what's been shown with Vince and Chris in the past, Chris Bosh. So, all right, let's see. Bishop saying, hey, freaks, get your flu shot. I'm still pukey from 10 days ago. Everybody's sick. It's crazy how much everybody's sick right now and how gross it is. It's like everybody has non-COVID illness, but it's like, it seems like it's worse than COVID, like the month-long flu that Fred VanVleet has and Nick Nurse, and now Bishop has it and stuff. This is crazy. I'm staying home, y'all. I ain't coming out there to see any of y'all unless I'm going to the arena and going to a game. I'm just staying home. I ain't going out there trying to get no flu or COVID or nothing. No, I'm not. And yes, Bishop's right. Go get your flu shot. If you can go get your flu shot, just go do it. It'll make things safer for you, and it will help society as a whole to not keep contracting and moving things around. Yeah, it's scary. I don't like how much people are sick around me right now. It's really weird. Fun guys here. Good to see I'm a fun guy. The sadly actual truth is Scottie could very easily leave being a guy from Florida and fourth pick and still young, then and intrigued by the flashy life. That's what I worry about. Like, in some of the way that I was assessing him this summer was on this tip, was to see what matters to him. Well, money does matter to him, guys. I'm going to tell you that right now. Money is a very, very important thing to Scottie Barnes. And if he was going to take the most, and if we can give him the most, then he'll stay probably. If the situation's good and we can give him the most money, he'll stay. And I don't know if that other stuff will be flashy to him. Flashy life, as you put it. I think he finds it's a flashy life here, but it's actually kind of cool flashy life because Scottie doesn't go out. He doesn't want to go to the clubs. He doesn't want to go to the bars. He doesn't. He said it on his Twitch stream this summer. I don't go out, y'all, and you won't see me out. Like if some girl came into his Twitch stream and said, "I saw you at the club the other night," he said, "No, you did not," because I do not go out. And this is interesting because Chris said this on his Hustle Play podcast recently, Chris Boucher. His advice for Christian Coloco is say, stay home. Don't go out. Don't go on the streets is what he's been telling the Rook. He's like, just stay home. Toronto's nice. It's fun. You can go out there and have a good time. Trust me. But you're in your early career and you want to establish yourself in the league. You don't want to get fucked up by something stupid happening out in public. So it's like Chris's advice to a young player like Christian or Scottie is stay home in your first couple years. You will get a chance to go out and enjoy yourself once you've established yourself in the league and there's no worry about, getting out of the league or something stupid happening. So a lot of these young guys on our team are not going out. Now, I can't say all of them, but I know Scottie for sure because he said it himself on the stream that he does not go to clubs or bars or do any of that kind of stuff like some of the young players might. So I don't think that the allure of Miami nightlife is going to get him, especially since he grew up down there and he probably saw it all and understands it. So I don't know. I think his values really are winning first and money. Winning and money. So if we're winning and we can pay him the most money, I would think he's going to stay here, especially if he knows like this is his family. He really feels like it's a family atmosphere here with OG and Pascal and Masai and Bobby and Nick. That'll be more encouraging for him to stay also. Because it's like you go to other situations and it's just not as fun because there's somebody you don't like on the new team that you didn't have to deal with when you were on the old team and you like everybody here. So those are a couple of different factors that will probably go through his head in this whole process in the years to come. So Duke saying, correct me if I'm wrong. I think that this might be the first game Zion has ever played against the Raptors. Well, if that can't be true, Duke, because look at my thumbnail for this stream today. Look at the thumbnail. That's Zion playing against OG in that picture. So he's definitely played against us at least once. But you're right. I can barely remember us playing him in his young career so far because he's been hurt so much. It may be we've only played him like once before, and it's from that picture. And this will be like the second time we play him. We'll have to hear what Matt Devlin says about this. Maybe he'll tell us in the broadcast. Matt, if you're watching me to pregame, to get ready, please let us know which game of Zion's this is against the Raptors, how many times he's played against us. We'll see if he says something about it. That may be a little nod to us that he does check in with us if he says something about that tonight. Let's see. Monique is chiming in. Good to see Monique. Writing in the doctor's office. That Surge Fred episode hits different, man. Seriously, let's go. Fred, very pumped. Yeah, Monique, wasn't that a great How Hungry Are You? Surge really is Raptors family. When he retires, he's going to come back and be around our city all the time because he loves Toronto. I mean, he filmed all the How Hungry Are You episodes here in Toronto. And they are part of Sportsnet. So when Serge retires, which I bet you will be in the next few years, we may see Serge as an alumni very active in Raptors culture and being around us. In fact, I love if he retires for him to do How Hungry Are You still, but really make him like base himself out of Toronto to an extent, because Toronto's a great city for him to base himself out of, culture wise, fashion wise, just city wise. New York is good too, but there's something about Serge Ibaka in the city of Toronto that is really special. And when he retires, I really do hope he spends a lot of his time here. But yeah, that episode's awesome. If you guys have not seen Fred VanVleet on the latest episode of How Hungry Are You, please check it out. Fred is Fred, and Fred is awesome. We love Fred so much. Nathan's saying PASCAL matured player. He's not scared no more, and that it's dangerous for a player with his new mindset. The sky's the limit. PASCAL has a new way to him this year that I never seen in him before. Yeah, he got meaner. This is the thing we're saying, that like he got a mean streak and now he's talking trash. He's got a confidence that is a supreme confidence. In the past, maybe he didn't have a confidence because he I don't know if I can do this. It was hard. He's learning, growing pains, kind of like what Scottie's doing with his low post stuff is growing pains. It's hard. PASCAL's gotten through the hard stuff and now he's coasting, and not coasting, but he's working hard enough at a level that it's easier for him. This is how he described it. It's like, it's going to be easier for me now because I really know what I'm doing and I'm confident and I'm comfortable doing it. And this is part of the reason why he's talking trash to people like PJ Tucker, because he can really back it up. If he was talking trash and he wasn't backing it up, that'd be a problem. But he really can now. And in some ways, that's so fun. I don't think we've ever had a player on our team that talks trash like him ever in the history. Vince never did this. Kawhi's not a trash talker on the court. DeMar and Kyle, maybe. Kyle talks some trash, sure. But not like what Siakam does with talking trash, like absolutely being the dominant player on the court. And I love that. I love that so much. Keep going. Keep going is what I'm saying. Yeah. All right, let's keep going with the comments. Mike saying also, with restricted free agency and him coming off a rookie contract, we can match the designated rookie extension to the max that anyone can offer. So probably offer it before the RFA, similar to PASCAL. Yeah, I know that they're carving out that big chunk of money for Scott because, listen, he's worth it. And it is really smart investment for the future. So I have total trust in Bobby Masai that they won't mess up and lose Scottie somehow, some way. They will have the money ready for him. And it could very well be a big chunk of money that they had set aside for Giannis and from the Giannis sweepstakes, just in case he was going to come here when that was happening a year or so ago. So now I think they'll work it out. I have total faith in Masai Ujiri that he will keep Scottie Barnes in a Raptors jersey. All right, let's keep going. Fun guy saying, hey, Zion has played us several times, bro. He basically was the reason we had the bubble year. He shat on us to open the season. Okay, that's like I have a very bad memory from a long time ago. Okay, so he's played us several times. Okay, this is good to know, fun guy. Thank you. Duke saying this season opener in 2020 was the ring ceremony. I'm pretty sure Zion didn't play. He might have played a regular season game in the bubble. Honestly, I'm trying to remember, fun guy and Duke, and I barely remember a game against him. And that picture says that we did play him. Could that have been the Tampa season or something? I don't know. It's really hard for me to remember when we played Zion, and I think we've only played him like once or twice. Really, seriously, because it always seems like he's always injured when we play them. Cool Cat saying Scottie wants to be the best in the league. His family's in Florida. His agent, his manager, Luka, star of Miami Heat or star of the LA Lakers, star of Canada. He has options. That's okay. We do as well. That's right, Cool Cat. We have options too. I don't think I worry about the Lakers a little bit just because of his affinity for Magic. And, I worry about the Heat but he really doesn't have a special connection to the Miami Heat. He made that very clear this summer. He may want to go to Orlando more than he want to go to the Heat. But once again, it is really important that he wants to win. And the situation in Toronto is conducive for winning. Forgetful saying, to be fair, Kareem pretty high on the Raps, just a bad take in my opinion. In reference to the Cavs in a possible matchup. Low also very, very high on the Celtics. Yeah, well, he's historically very high on the Celtics. That's just like kind of a default for him. If the Celtics are involved in a conversation, Zach Lowe's going to say they're very good. But as far as Eric Kareem with that, okay, so he still thinks we're very good, but he won't give us that. Well, that's still doubter to me. They're like, listen, you should believe that if it doesn't matter which team in the NBA, if we're playing them in a 7-game series in the playoffs, that we were going to get 4 of those wins. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's the Golden State Warriors, champs from last year. I don't care if it's the Boston Celtics. I don't care if it's Milwaukee Bucks. If we get a 7-game series with somebody in the playoffs, we're going to beat them. And we would have beat the Boston Celtics in the 7-game series in the bubble if PASCAL had been the normal PASCAL. So, all right, let's see. Mike saying the Giannis money was filled with Gary Trent Jr., OG, and Birch. Okay. Well, over time, I don't know like how that money will like expand and stuff. That really is your expertise and not mine. So you just let me know, Mike. I'm going to lean on you for this kind of stuff. Okay. Mason saying, Lex, great stream today. OG is on his way like PASCAL. OG with his steals reminds me of Leonard a bit on the defensive end, and OG realized he's the guy who does all the things people don't want to do. Go OG. OG, oh my. Yeah, I love what OG's doing. And yeah, the comparisons to Kawhi Leonard, there are flashes of it for sure with what he's doing right now. All right, Kendrick James is here. Raps would spank the Cavs. I believe this too. And y'all check out Kendrick's art, Kendrick Chronic Art James. If you need art commissioned, look him up on Facebook. He can help you out. And yeah, the Raptors would spank the Cavaliers for sure. I believe that. And real ones do believe that also. And y'all, like I said, check out Kendrick on Facebook, Kendrick Chronic Art James. He can help you out. All right, let's do the real mascot matchup. The last time we saw the Raptor, he was in that horrible jail cell sauna fake hospital room and with Nurse Annette. And he had actually like punched her or hit her in the head with something, and she's knocked out on the floor bleeding from her head. And he's trying to get out of the room because he's loose, because he had this weird dream about riding away on a horse. And he's at the door of it, and he's pushing into the door. And on the other side of the door was the Cavalier nurse, the nurse that is from the original part of the story, where she's really mean to him in the bed. And he's like, that's not very nice. You're a bitch. And they're pushing each other into the door against each other. He's pushing out, and she's trying to keep him in. Well, the Raptor gets like some real gumption, and boom, he knocks her right off the door, and he gets right on out. He did it. He beat the Cavalier nurse at the door. And so he's like, all right, he runs out of the house, and he's looking around, and he sees like, okay, there's a runway over here. And he's like, whoa, it's like an airfield. And so he goes and he's like running over to the runway because he wants to get away from these crazy ass hillbilly people who keep grabbing him and trying to like kill him just because he's a raptor and he has red skin and he's not a human. And it's really like they're racist against raptors is really what's going on here. Like they have hate in their heart, like a racist heart. And this is what it is. It's manifesting. They want to torture an abomination, a raptor person, a humanoid raptor that lives in their world. So he really wants to get away, obviously. So he's trucking to get to this plane he sees on the runway. And it's like a pontoon plane. It's a plane that can fly, but also go in the water. And it's kind of like it had like a little like art on the side of it of a pelican. Yeah, it's a pelican plane because a pelican can fly and then it kind of goes on and sits on the water like a pontoon plane. So he's trying to get to this plane, but also like he thinks there's somebody in the plane actually. And he's like, whoa, there's somebody in the plane, and they're trying to start revving it up. Well, he runs up and he sees it's Harry the Hawk, the news hawk guy. He's in there. He's starting to rev it up. He has it started for him, but the Raptor jumps into the plane with him and he pushes him out. He actually pushes Harry out, and he's got the plane and he's starting to go. Will the Raptor finally get away from these crazy asses and get this plane going up in the air and get out of there? Or will something go wrong? We'll have to find out next time on the Real Mascot Matchup. Can he escape in the pontoon plane? Or will something go wrong? We'll have to find out. We'll have to see. All right. There's your Real Mascot Matchup. Lolita's saying 1 point or 45 points doesn't matter to me as long as it's a W tonight for the Raptors. That's right. We just want them to get the W. Fred said we are chaos agents. We work well in chaos. We cause chaos. Every game is chaos. and we thrive in chaos. And that's what we are all about. We're going to cause some chaos down in New Orleans tonight. And it doesn't have to be pretty. It could be real ugly. It could be having a lot of fouls. It could be like missed shots. It could be like turnovers. It could be ugliness in the game all over the place for both teams. And it can be some of the worst looking basketball in the world. I don't care as long as we get that W. I don't care if the referees are awful to us. I don't think they will be because the ref check looks good. But I don't care as long as we get the W. I don't care if unfair things happen. I don't care if stupid shit happens as long as we get the W. It doesn't matter how much we win by. We win by 1 point. We win by 45 points. It doesn't matter. We just want that W. And that's all that matters. We are agents of chaos. We cause chaos and we thrive in chaos. That is the Toronto Raptors right now. Yeah. Mike's saying short temp, Phil. Scottie, final year of rookie is 8 million and would need like 25 to 30 million more. So trading a starter or bleeding depth to go hard luxury tax, hence my extension series and what it was showing. Okay, so he knows how to move the cap around so that we can fit this. And it may be that we have to make tough decisions and decide between players that we have currently when those tough contracts come up, because a lot of these guys are going to get paid more and we're not going to be able to keep all of them. So it really is when Nick Nurse says something to Gary Trent, like you need to play defense and do your steals or you don't fit on this team. That could be very well a reality in the next couple of years. That is where you can decide, Gary, if you want to be on this team, is listen to Nick Nurse do it, and then we'll pay you and hopefully want to keep you around. But if you don't, then maybe you're part of freeing things up to pay Scottie. All right, let's keep going. Fun guy saying, nah, bro, I still remember it like it was yesterday. Zion played in that opener and shat on us to start that Tampa season, not the championship season. I vaguely remember this. I do vaguely remember this. He's talking about Tampa. Yeah, I do vaguely remember this. Like maybe part of it is that we blocked out a lot of Tampa. Fun guy doesn't mind reviewing the nightmare of that season. And I do vaguely remember this. I do remember playing New Orleans the first game of that season. And yeah, okay, I think Zion did play in that game. Jimmy's saying, funny to me, people are making a scene about Scottie getting benched, not like it's a permanent thing. I bet he starts tonight. I know, exactly. It's like an overreaction to something very temporary. That this is like, it may have been just because of the conditioning and the whole thing he said about adding too many players back in the starting lineup all at once. That maybe he saw enough and that the conditioning is good enough that, yeah, Scottie, you're back in the starting lineup. And I instead of Juancho, I think that is really what's going to happen tonight. My projected starting lineup for tonight is Fred and Gary. No, Fred and OG are at the guards, or maybe Fred and Scottie, and then PASCAL and OG and Thad as the starting five. Let's see. Duke's saying that would have to be the Tampa season. Thanks, fun guy. Yeah, okay, we figured it all out. And I do remember losing to New Orleans the first game of the season. I just don't remember. I have a clip of it. I could go review it from my Instagram Juice show from that season. I could go watch that, and it'd probably remind me everything that happened that day. That's kind of the cool thing about doing these streams and these shows. They're kind of like a video diary. And that like years and years from now, I may be able to go back to the stuff I've been doing right now and reminisce about, oh, yeah, that was when we beat Cleveland on that Monday night and PASCAL returned from his injury. And what a great night that was. It was so fun. It is really like a scrapbook in some ways, what we're doing here. Let's see. Lolita saying, as bad as Tampa was for us, I think we still have the W. We got Scottie and Delano as our trophy. So many good things from it. You know what? Another thing that's hidden about the Tampa season is really a huge accomplishment is any other franchise in the league, if they had to go through what we went through that season, would have probably been destroyed to a degree. Would have had to have gone through such a hardship that they may have lost some of the things that they had going for them and wouldn't have been able to keep the ship sailing through it intact. And that was something I was really proud about with the Tampa season, that we were so professional. We did such a good job transitioning to it. And it really was our staff and our franchise that did such a good job. The unsung heroes, the names we'll never hear, the people that did all the things to help organize the whole move down there and getting them places to stay, making it as comfortable as possible for the Raptors. The fact that we weathered that bad year of being down in Tampa and we kept our championship culture from 2019, and that was in the middle of that to now, is very super impressive. In fact, that was a win all around. Even if we did not make the playoffs that year, sure, we got Scottie. That's an easy way to say we won, but we also won because our ship sailed strong through the rough waters of playing a season in Tampa. And I think that that's an accomplishment that doesn't get put on blast enough around the NBA. That how many teams have had to do this relocation stuff and suffered for it? You know, I know that one of the other cases would be what happened with Katrina and the New Orleans team. This is funny, we're down there, is that they got devastated by Katrina and they had to relocate to the Houston for a while. They had to play in another city. And I don't think that it really mattered. They weren't that good anyway around that time. But that's really an inconvenience. And it is a real testament to how good our franchise is, how well run it is, how professional it is, the way we weathered that storm. And we kept so much intact as far as our culture, our winning mentality. And like we weathered it and we're better at the end of it. So it's really awesome. Fun guy saying, "Hey, yes, Dukes, my bad. I said bubble, but I meant Tampa." Yeah, we're both a little. We were talking about different times, and now we figured it out. It's all good. Mike saying, "Facts, Lex. Tank seasons take years to fix. Hence, Masai saying another year would set us back 5 years." Yeah, and they lessened the impact of having to do that relocation for our future. And actually, we've fast tracked right back into where we were before. And in some ways, we haven't missed a beat. It's actually really, really super impressive. Okay, and Duke's saying we also played the Pelicans in the season opener, ring ceremony day in the bubble season. We won that game, so I see the confusion. That's right. There were a couple seasons in a row where we opened the season against the Pelicans. I remember this, and that is definitely why we're confused because there are both seasons did start against New Orleans. Okay, just to do a real quick recap, and we'll get done before 90 minutes. Our injuries are basically Otto and Precious did not travel. They are out for sure, but otherwise everybody else is available. But Justin Champagnie and Ron Harper Jr. are with the 905. They did not travel to New Orleans, but Jeff Doughton did. So he's down there with the other guys. Now, all of them are available to play, and we've been kind of projecting who the starting lineup would be. Right now, my calculated guess is Fred, Scottie, OG, Pascal, and Thaddeus will start tonight. Now, Gary could very well be in the starting lineup, and we just go right back to our 5 from last year. And I wouldn't be upset about that either, because then it will really shut up the stupid shit from Monday night with Josh Lewenberg. It's like, oh, okay, well, then we're just right back to the starting lineup again. But maybe not. It could be if it's halfway, it means Scottie's back in the starting lineup. And Gary is coming off the bench to help bolster our scoring off the bench, which is really smart, in my opinion. But we'll have to see if Nick's ready to do that. It's really up to him. We trust him. He's going to make the right decision. Now, on New Orleans side of the ball, the injuries are quite nice and helpful for us. No Brandon Ingram tonight for sure. He is really their best player, and that doesn't upset me. Zion is good, but Brandon Ingram's their best player. Don't get it twisted. CJ McCollum has cleared COVID protocols, but is questionable due to conditioning. It may very well be that he doesn't play, and if he does, it may be very limited. Larry Nance Jr. is questionable tonight. It's his shoulder, and Najee Marshall is also questionable. He has an illness. So that's basically the injuries. There's our daily siren. There's always a siren. Oh my gosh. All right, and our refs tonight are Ben Taylor, who's a fantastic referee for us, Kevin Cutler, and Andy Nagy. And all three of them favor us over the New Orleans Pelicans historically win percentage-wise. So really, our keys to victory, what we were saying is this is a team that likes to play down low, the New Orleans Pelicans. They like to bully around the basket. We have personnel that's very good at bullying back. And what I'd like to see us neutralize Jonas and Zion around the basket as much as we can. Let's get more rebounds than the Pelicans. Let's get more points in the paint. Let's outshoot them from three-point range. And let's just see more of the mastery and excellence of Pascal Siakam and OG Anunoby emerging as a two-way player, more and more a supreme two-way player by shutting the water off on Zion Williamson tonight, hopefully, and also balancing it with a great scoring effort on the other end of the court. This is what I wish for OG for tonight. And he's been delivering very well the last couple games with the plumbing and also the scoring. So let's continue to see that tonight. Fred, I want to see that matchup against him and Alvarado. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I would say key on watching Freddie play against Jose Alvarado. It's going to be a really fun matchup, seriously. So there you go, guys. Tonight, New Orleans, let's get hyped. We're back, baby. We're back with full strength with all of our good guys. We need Precious and Otto back eventually, and they'll just be added reinforcements. But right now, we really do have a strong core, and I feel real good about tonight. We want to finish November with a winning record, 8-6. And this is how to do it. We got to win the one tonight. And that's fantastic because we really did lose a lot in the middle of this month. And if we can come out above 500 by the end of this month, that's a huge accomplishment since we missed Pascal most of this month. So, yeah, let's see. Lolita's saying, for Scotty's sake, no offense to Fred, but I wished he got the opportunity to play with Kalo, Bulldog. In some ways that's true. You know what? You're right. Like Kyle Lowry has been such a huge influence on Fred, Pascal, OG, Chris Boucher that it is too bad. But you know what? In some ways, I think they are cultivating a relationship, even though he never played with him as a teammate. That there is really a connection between Kyle and Scotty, that they have interacted a bit. And I know that Scotty has a lot of respect for him, and he understands how important he is to our team. So there is a lot of respect there. So you may be surprised to know how much of a relationship these guys actually have in some ways. It could be that Kyle's talking to Scotty also because he loves the Raptors so much, and that he kind of maybe wants to help Scotty on the down low, even though he plays for the Miami Heat. So you may be shocked at how much he actually interacts with Scotty to a degree. Let's see. Cool Cat's saying, I think Serge regretted leaving Toronto in the end. He became a star in Toronto, and no other NBA city has that star factor for him than his European African market. Yeah, there's a lot of things about Serge that just fit. Serge is a style kind of guy that fits Toronto. Toronto and him are kind of the same in a way. They're very much very cultured, very artistic, and very very fine arts, and just like he really is like a human that embodies the spirit of Toronto to a degree. Very multinational, speaks so many languages. So yeah, it's just a great fit. And it's true. In some ways, he's more of a star here than he is on any other team he played. Orlando, who cares? Whatever. He's not Orlando. He's a star in Orlando. Whatever. He's a star in Oklahoma City. I don't know. They may still feel really strongly about him way back in the day. But it is really true. Toronto is his place. And even Milwaukee's kind of pissed at him probably because of all the things he's been doing, like asking Giannis if he'd ever play for Toronto. Fun guy saying, now CJ McCollum is by far the guy to worry about. He's the one that continuously beats us. In Portland and Pelicans, when he got there, he's the kryptonite we worry about. Yeah, he's definitely a guy we got to find and keep track of. He cannot be let to get going. And I hope he's not bouncing back and he feels really good after COVID. Sometimes guys are sick and they come back and they feel really good, but they just don't have their conditioning. I hope that's not the case with him, and that hopefully he's limited tonight. I mean, it really helped us win. But yeah, you're right. CJ McCollum's been a Raptor killer in the past, and somebody that we don't necessarily want to be too healthy to coming back tonight. Jimmy Pope saying, enjoy your day, guys. Yeah, get out there and touch grass, even though it's raining. Bring an umbrella. Mike's saying, killer facts, Cat, like always. And Duke Rock's saying, that's funny you heard a siren at the same time I heard a siren at my window. I'm at Young and Finch. Well, I'm definitely not anywhere near there. It's a different siren. Shane Waters saying, Kem needs to log some big minutes tonight. He's our best defender in the paint at this point. Don't even care if he scores. Let's go Raps. Yeah, I love Kem bodying up with Jonas Valanciunas. That is really a good guy to guard Jonas. Is like OG. We don't want OG having to muscle around with Jonas tonight. Jonas is very strong. And who would do it otherwise? Koloko? I don't think Koloko needs to be trying to muscle up with Jonas tonight. It's not the right matchup. Koloko can play, but he may have to line up with other guys like Herb Jones. As far as things, it may very well be that we need Kem Birch and Thad Young more often than not on Valanciunas. So we'll have to see. We don't want Valanciunas getting a double-double, and it's always nice to see Jonas. We love Jonas a lot. He is definitely one of our favorite old Raptors, one of mine for sure. We don't talk about him enough. We talk a lot about DeMar and Kyle in that period, but Jonas was really an important part of that period also, with Dwayne Casey as our coach. All right, guys, have a great Wednesday, and let's just, like I say every game day, go out there and do whatever you do in your life the Raptor way. Do it with excellence and pride and a winning spirit that you are achieving in what you're doing, and you do it the right way and you show excellence in it. Then hopefully the Raptors will do the same thing tonight on the court and what they do. Excellence. That we do things a Raptor way, the Masai Ujiri way. and it's with quality and with the best effort. That is what we want. All right. So y'all have a great day. Please subscribe if you enjoy my previews and reactions. And I will see you guys tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. for the reaction to the New Orleans game tonight. Hopefully it will be a very great victory and we continue to streak on a 3-game streak. And hopefully we can continue to climb the Eastern Conference standings. Tom Duke saying definitions from Oxford languages, Raptor to Raptor. Don't doing whatever you do, just get it done. Tom Duke, is that from that's from the Oxford Language Dictionary? This is not Merriam-Webster though, because that's not the same definition I've seen in there before. But I'll take it. All right, I'm not going to fact check Tom Duke on this one. The definition of Raptor is doing whatever you do, doing whatever when you just got to get it done. Okay. I know Tom Duke's going to be out on the West Coast doing his job the Raptor way today for sure. One more comment. Cool Cat saying we have plans for the chip or finals before Scottie's rookie contract expires. A great experience for Scottie and staying. He feels at home in Toronto. By the way, his family feels he is safe here too. And that's probably true. Like, this is so dumb what Chris Bouchard said this summer. In fact, in some ways, African Americans may be more safe in Toronto than they are in other NBA cities around the world. Seriously, like there's cities down south that I would be feeling much less safe in Memphis. I'd be feeling much less safe in New York. I may be feeling much less safe in Los Angeles. In Toronto, you are safe here. And this is true. And I'm glad his family trusts him being in Toronto and being safe here, because it is very true. The man can scooter around and he's okay. Let's see. Mason Culligan saying, thanks. Great stream today. Let's get this win tonight. Yes, big muscles. Mason Culligan. Work out now, get ready. I'm going to do it in the Raptor way, just like we're talking about. And big dubs, it's W the stream, just like Tom Duke's doing right now. And big facts from Cool Cat, from Mike. All right, guys, have a great day. And let's go.